than I typically do, but I was on the road all day yesterday. Wanted to give you an update going into this weekend. So we got an open house on Saturday set from 12 to 3. Typically on an open house, and well, let me back up here. Typically going into, if you look at our days on market, we're going to be going into our our fourth weekend, 22 days on market. This is typically where we like to, or I like to have that conversation about price. The general rule of thumb, like I mentioned at the house, is if you're not getting any showings, it typically means the market is telling you that it's overpriced. If you're getting showings but no offers, then they typically think there is something that's stopping a buyer from writing an offer. Now, in your guys' case, with all the advantages and how beautiful the home is, I don't see that being an issue, but we do need to get people into the home. So in about little over 3 weekends in 20 days, we've had one showing and minimal open house activity. So I do think it's time to have that conversation. Does not mean that we necessarily have to do a price reduction. I know your bottom line is 685, so we definitely want to keep that in mind. But just something to talk about here. So I wanted to show you what we're looking at as far as our competition. So this is the MLS, and when we look here, this is our home right here at 699. And then as a buyer, what I'm looking for is like what's available out there. So comps, we know that it's going to appraise at 699. Not worried about the appraisal, but we are worried about what are other buyers going to do when they're going to write offers, right? Not a ton of options in up in that Union Park at Norterra area, but this one's at 690 right here. So if we look through here, let me just double check this. I haven't looked at these yet. This is a sales, one of the sales homes, but they do have this one listed at 690. 1 second here. Yep, similar. All of these homes I have is similar bedrooms, baths, and square footage, the same way that I would look for as if I was searching for a buyer, right? I'm gonna look for anything that's 3 bedrooms up. I'm gonna search for at least 2,000 square feet. Typically in this price range, people don't want less than that. So when we look through here, we got a 690, another new build at 684, 3 bedroom, 4 baths, similar square footage, community pool, obviously, another sales or builder's house. And then this one right here is a resale at 675, bigger home, but obviously a lot older and not nearly as updated. So we don't need to mess with anything below here. So we don't have a ton of competition. So I know that other house in right down the road or right in that area went under contract pretty quick at this 699. So we could stay firm here for one more week. Or we could do like a $5,000 or a $10,000 price reduction. I know that, like I said, that 685 number is your bottom line, but wouldn't be the worst idea right before the open house to do some sort of price reduction. It could even be something as little as 2,500. My recommendation would be either $5,000 or $10,000, being is that we only have 15K to play with before we get to that bottom line number. I would not race down to that number. If it were my house, just looking at our competition, the lack of a lot of homes in this area in our buy box, and really taking into consideration the fact that we only have one showing in 20 days, I definitely would recommend a price reduction. I just wouldn't do a huge one. But if this was my house, all things taken into consideration, I would probably do a price reduction of 5K right before this open house and try to generate some traffic. So just wanted to send you this small update. The other thing we want to look at here is our weekly listing update. So you guys get a copy of this. I don't know if you've looked at it yet, but if you look at this, I mean, we're getting views on the home, over 3,000, almost 4,000 views, a lot of engagement. Marketing campaigns are going out like crazy. I mean, I could go down this list. There's more and more. Zillow has decent activity. We'd like to see a little bit more, but again, I think that does come with price. And then, realtor.com, not a lot of saves, which is the number that I typically like to look at, but it is popping up. So I think, people will start saving it typically when they get to a price that they're hoping for. Days on market, remember, is our best friend. So we don't necessarily have to race down to that number, but the quicker we get to where people, believe that it's worth, the less our days on market, the more bargaining power that we have. So just wanted to give you this update. Take a look at this. Let me know what you think. Regardless, we have the open house set from 12 to 3. Whether we keep it at this price or do a price reduction, completely up to you guys. But I do think our activity says 5K might be worth it. So we'll talk soon.